Hi guys. Today in this session we are going to see about the App Studio in Pega. So basically we know from version 8 of Pega. So Pega has actually segregated into four major studios. So we have App Studio, we have Dev Studio, we have Admin Studio, we have Prediction Studio. Okay, so these are the four basic studios which are being given by Pega from version 8. So before version 8, so we have version 7 and before that we have 6 and then 5. So in these versions we just have only one studio, that is Designer Studio. Okay. So we have only Designer Studio prior to 8th version, that is in 7th and whatever the rest of the previous versions and previous subversions or whatever. So we have only Designer Studio which has been used by developer. But from Pega 8, so Pega has segregated the complete development environment. Okay, so that can be segregated into four types of studios with App Studio, Dev Studio, Admin Studio, and Prediction Studio. So coming to App Studio is basically dedicated studio that is dedicated to a specific group of people. So this studio is dedicated completely to business architects or business analysts who are working for the solution. So the product owners or the business architects, they can actually go through this App Studio. They can create the case, they can create the case life cycle, they can update the flows. So whatever they can, so they can actually do in this App Studio to design a case life cycle or to modify something. So that has been completely done through App Studio, which is related to business transactions and business related changes or modifications. Instead of making the developer to make the changes, so Pega is actually giving the scope to business people to make these changes through App Studio. And coming to Dev Studio is actually dedicated to developers. The whole Dev Studio is dedicated to developers because the most complex coding that you can actually do with Dev Studio. So if you want to implement some business logics or complex development activities, or you might have to do some more customization, and which is really complex, which cannot be achievable through App Studio, you are going with Dev Studio. So App Studio is also used by developers. I missed the point here. So App Studio is also used by developers, which is used to develop the low code solution. So because since it is Pega is a low code platform, so App Studio gives uh, it gives the uh, you know gives the scope to actually develop some solution through App Studio within less development time. Okay, so in the App Studio, basically we can design the sections, create the properties, create the case lifecycle, create the data classes, create the case types, and everything we can do through App Studio. Whatever we can do through Dev Studio, now some parts, some things can be done through App Studio as well. But from Pega 8 in 8.6, the latest version, so Pega has given a great compatibility to make these kind of low code development faster. So if you do the development using Dev Studio, it might take some time. So if you use the same development using App Studio, that will take very less time. That will finish it off in very less time. That's the huge difference between the App Studio and the Dev Studio. So normally we will do the development through a Dev Studio, but using App Studio also we can do partial development, not completely or not major development, but partial development we can do. But we can do it. We can close it off or finish it off in within very less time. So that's the specific importance of App Studio. And coming to the Admin Studio is a third studio. So this is about monitoring the agents or monitoring background process or monitoring the listeners, email listeners, file listeners, and about the number of requesters logged in, number of threads in the system, and uh, you know all these information related to system administration, server administration. So we can actually monitor in the Admin Studio, and also we can make the changes if let's say if some background processing is happening. So if it is been stopped by some exceptions or whatever, so you can actually uh, make the changes. You can restart the agent and you can restart the listeners. If you want to trace some agents which is actually running, and if you want to do some analysis, so you can actually do with Admin Studio. So prior to eighth version, we have SMA to trace the agents and all these. But in the eighth version, we can do it through Admin Studio directly. Okay. And then we have Prediction Studio. This is about the whole dedicated studio to the decisioning things. So if your project is related to decisioning, then yes, you are able to use this Prediction Studio in order to develop the predictive analytics and all these type of predictive analytics and data analytics. So all these things are handled as a part of decisioning application. So in that particular scenarios, we are going with a Prediction Studio. Yeah, this is the whole explanation of these four studios. Now let us see how to use App Studio in our 8.6 version. So let us start our session. So this is the App Studio. Okay, we can see, right? So the App Studio consists of case types, data types, channels, and all these. And this is the App Studio basically. So here you can actually create your case types, whatever the case types that you want. Basically, I have two case types over here. One is account opening, and the other one is request. So now let us go with the new case type for the implementation. So let me add one case type here. So let's say loan application. Okay. So I'm creating this case type. So this one you can actually select in which layer you want to create. So basically, if you choose IMS case layer, then yes, it will create a class in scb-ims-work. If you choose this, so I mean, the loan application will be the part. I mean, it is a child of account opening. So if you select request, it will be the child of request class. So I will choose IMS layer. Okay, and then now the loan application case type has been created. So now my loan application case type is created. So what basically consists of the loan application really, like, so first stage is the application form. You are going to create your application, and then second is the verification, and third stage could be probably the approval, and fourth stage probably could be the resolution. Okay, so this is how the four stages for a loan application in terms of business. So here in the application stage, in the first stage, so we are going to uh, make the customer who wants to apply for the loan. So we have to provide some forms. So he has to fill up the all the all the details and everything, right? So for that thing, what we need is we have to give him the scope to fill the personal details and the address details and any ID proofs. Okay, and also we have to give him the scope to submit the application form, fill the application form. He has to choose the type of loan. Okay, and he has to provide this declaration. So this is how. So these are the steps here. So I will change this to application form. Okay. So now for the first step, I will create the first step name would be something like personal information that we are going to capture. And second thing would be address information that I'm going to capture. And then loan details. So these three screens, I'll be placing it over and coming to the verification screen. So verification. So we'll be basically having the verification, right? So that could be level 1 verification. And level 2 verification, etc. Here it could be the approval process, manager approval, loan approval. Basically, these are the stages, and this is the life cycle for the whole loan application. So let us try to build this first three screens first. So how to do is, so I will click on this step. I will configure view. So whole thing I'll be doing it through App Studio instead of using the Dev Studio. I will make it done through App Studio. So first I need to identify what properties I need. Like if you want to capture personal information, basically what all the things that you need is you need name, second full name, third last name, next date of birth, gender, okay, something like PAN number, okay, something like Aadhaar number, and that's it. So this is personal information. Coming to address, basically you need house number, street, pin code, state, district, country. These are the fields that you need to capture address data. Okay. So let us start building these things using App Studio. Okay. So these are all the properties that I need. Now what I will do is I will create two data types, or I can manage both the things in a single data type also. Okay. So now I will create one data type. So here I'll create a new data type, but I think I already have one data type here, so I will reuse that. I think I already have one more data type here. Yes, I will reuse these things actually. Okay, so here, okay, so I already have few records of data over here. Okay, so I will just reuse these things for address details, and I have personal details also. So I will try to reuse these properties instead of creating. Okay, so now we go to our case type. Now this loan application. Oh shit, I did not save it. So, okay. So don't forget to save. Okay. So now in this screen, so I click on this step on this assignment, and now I will try to configure the fields directly. Okay, so if I try to add a field, so basically I already have some fields. Okay, so I can reuse the existing fields also. So something like name. So name is created. Okay, so instead of creating these individual properties, what I will do is I will create one embedded property. It's called personal information. Okay, I will create this type as embedded data in single page. So I will give this data object as a personal details. Okay, submit. I will delete this one. So now I have created one page, single page. Okay, now I can configure. So here we have to give a view name. So I will give loan personal data. Okay, I will create a view here. Click on create. So this will create one view, and at the back end it will create a section. So now what we need to do is we need not to do anything. So already all the fields are pre-populated, like the first name, last name, gender, this and that, and everything. Okay, see, these are all the fields that are created already there because we already have one data type called personal details. So what I did is I have created one single page called personal information, and I have mapped that class with data object called personal details. So I already have some one data object for personal details with all these properties in that class. So I need not to create it. So automatically these are pre-produced. So here you can have, if you want to make it required, so you can make it required. If you want to make it read only, you can make it read only. Okay, so optional if you don't want to make it read only. So this is how a form is created. Now if you click on submit, so you need not to configure the sections individually. So one section is created. Okay, similarly for address information, if you open, so I'll create one page property again. Go to embedded data, and then I will select address details class update object. So this will fetch the properties from the address details. So here I will create a new view. So address data. So you can add your fields here because in address details, I think we don't have any fields created. So maybe that is the reason it is not showing any fields here. So you can add here like house number, text, house number, and you can have street already exists. Submit, save. Let us go to the data types. Where is this address details? Just let us open this one. Here we have only house number. Okay, maybe in the top layer, maybe we are having this probably. Okay, so we will add it in our view, configure view. Open this view. It's not pretty. This is also there. Maybe this is also there. Yes. Okay. Okay, here you can see automatically the personal information related section is populated. Okay, we did not created this manually. We did not created uh, this flow. Okay, we did not created this flow. We did not created this flow action. What is it? Okay, we did not created this flow action, and we did not created this section also. Okay, we did not design this screen also. We did not design this screen. So automatically Pega has created the section, the UI fields, the flow action, the flow, and whatever it is needed for the case processing. So once we create the case type and then the stages and the life cycle, so Pega has created all these things. So that we have done through our App Studio. Pega has done it, all these things in the backend. So this is how App Studio is like, you can see, right, this form. So just we have just added the fields. Yeah, through App Studio, it created the section, created the the alignment, and it created the flow action and all. So we are able to run the case, and we are able to see the first screen, this one. So this is the beauty of App Studio. Okay, so it takes very less time to develop any application in terms of low code. So any small modules or minor modules are there. So through Pega App Studio, we can build the applications very fast, very fast, you can say. So this is how it is about the App Studio and its specification for the, for simple mini application creation. So that's it, guys. If you have any queries, yes, you can post it in the comments, and then yes, I can actually answer. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your support. Bye bye.